We'll find you.
Okay, so this panel is essentially going to be just kind of a rundown of what Lolita is. If you're not super familiar with it, it is like a Japanese fashion. It's very popular over there. We do have a pretty decent sized community in the Memphis area. As you can see, most of us are goth, but we're going to tell you a little bit more about all the sub-styles in case you want to start getting into Lolita and you can start experiencing it yourself. So, the comprehensive Lolita guide.
At least as we know it.
Yeah.
So far. Okay, so the basics essentially have to do with anatomy. The whole
Microphone.
I was trying to be a big girl and not do the microphone, but apparently I need one anyway. So, what makes Lolita Lolita is the anatomy. The outfits have a certain structure that you have to follow for it to count as a Lolita outfit. As you can see, all of us have very full skirts, petties included, even though it's hot as crap outside, but you know, go hard or go home.
You can do this. We do it. We don't care.
Oh my goodness gracious.
I was just telling them about anatomy.
I swear we're classy, I promise.
Don't lie to them.
We try.
Alright, anyway.
Okay, so you start out with the basic shape. It can either be an A-line poop or a cupcake poop. Well, she's not here yet, but we have one of our girls who's what we like to call the queen of cupcake poop, and she can barely get through a doorway. But essentially, you want to make sure that whatever you're wearing underneath the skirt is full enough to bring out the design as well as show off the pattern. I'm not wearing a pattern skirt right now, but as you can see, Leah has a very nice pattern. I'm sorry, I haven't had my coffee if you can't tell. Amber has a very lovely print on her skirt. So you want to wear a very full petticoat to bring that out so you can see that at a full 360 when you're walking to and from or just around so people can get the full impact of your print.
Full impact.
Yes. I'm trying. Okay. Next would be the blouse or cutso, depending. Today I'm wearing cutso because it's hot and I don't feel like wearing button-ups. Everyone else has on. Are you wearing?
I'm Marilyn Manson today.
Okay, that's fine. Whatever. That works. But yes, blouse is pretty essential. It basically just helps to pull together the look. A lot of times the more popular ones are the medium collar with the little poof sleeves, as you can see. Okay, sequin collars. Also very popular would be your high Victorian collar with a little bit of ruffle or Janet. Jammy habits. I'm sorry. It's our fault.
A ruffle or a jabot.
Yes, sorry. It's okay if you don't wear a blouse with a JSK, especially in the summertime. I know that some of you probably have heard that blouses are mandatory, but you know what? We live in Memphis. It gets 100 degrees in the summertime. It's 100% humidity. If you wear like a thin knit or lace over shawl or something like that, perfectly fine. Don't let anyone tell you down about not wearing a blouse because we have to live in reality. And the reality is it's hot. So, perfectly fine. Leg wear. Most of us are wearing stockings today. Stockings are probably going to be the easiest part of the Lolita anatomy to put together nowadays because we have websites like Soft Dreams and places like Forever 21 that have started catering to more diverse styles in their footwear or legwear, sorry. So you can find like stockings pretty much anywhere that will match any outfit in any color, coordinate, what may have you. That's going to be the easiest part of your outfit by far. Let's see. What else? Shoes.
The shoes are the most diverse part of the outfit.
Yeah.
You can do pretty much anything within reason with shoes. One of the really popular, more old school styles is going to be like your rocking horse shoes. Like that's exactly what I'm wearing. You can even go with something a little bit more funky, like these ladies are.
Wedges.
Or Jeffrey Campbell's. Or you can wear T-strap heels with a kitten heel. Just something that's easy for you to walk in. Comfort is really going to be the most important thing. If you're going to be walking around a con for like 8 hours a day, you really don't want to be wearing like 10-inch heels. It's really uncomfortable. So although there is a particular aesthetic you have to stick to, you really do need to try to be more particular about comfort. Yeah, that's really my big thing.
I mean, elegance, of course, but you don't want to ruin the overall effect of your outfit if you're stumbling around, if your toes are pinched, if you're uncomfortable, because it will translate when you're out in a crowd. People will see that on your face. And so you do want to take comfort into consideration and not just try to follow the uniform, by the letter. So these may be tall to some people, but these are perfectly comfortable by me. They're easy to walk in. I can wear these all day. So if you're fine with flats, just make sure that they balance out your outfit, of course, and just make sure that you have everything in line with the overall aesthetic that you want to achieve.
Platforms are also quite popular.
Yes.
And also
No dirty sneakers.
Oh, yeah.
That's a really big one. If you're going to be wearing a pretty elegant dress and you slap on a pair of Converse that you've rode hard and hung up wet, it's going to throw your whole outfit off. Like, I wear Converse almost every single day, but I feel like if I wore it with this outfit, I would dirt really hard. So, anyway, moving on.
We feel lost back there.
I've heard that the only time people wear flats is like they're daytime shoes. Is that
That's not necessarily true.
Yeah.
Tea parties are a good alternative for like flat shoes. Those are kind of little, we have some up at the front. They almost look like Mary Jane's, but they have a little bit more oomph to them. Like usually there will be kind of a lacy looking pattern or something.
Have like a style
But
ruffle.
tea parties are perfectly acceptable. If you find a pair of flat shoes that matches your outfit and maybe has a little bit of embellishment or something like that, I say go for it.
You have to say, is there a picture on the screen?
I've seen a lot of people wear just plain black flats.
Yeah,
It looks fine.
or even color ones, as long as it matches the colorway of your outfit, that works perfectly fine. Like if you have a burgundy and a burgundy flat and really nice stockings, that's perfectly fine.
And it's really, really easy to add like a strap or something like that if
Exactly.
you want to add something.
Or an anklet, if you're looking for another little piece of embellishment, that's perfectly fine as well.
And we're gonna start passing some things around for y'all to fondle and look at. We have some flyers so you can get a little bit more familiar with some of the stuff we're talking about if it's not making sense, because it is early in the morning. And I know we kind of get off topic a lot.
Some of us haven't had our coffee.
Okay, so the next thing we're gonna talk about, I believe, is substyles. Actually, this is a good picture of anatomy. The picture that's on that is gonna give you a little bit more of an idea of anatomy.
That was also drawn up by our lovely lady.
She's good at art.
We like her, she can draw pretty things. I think they're already on.
Oh, okay. Yeah, they're coming.
Yeah, make sure everyone gets one. Let us know if you haven't received a flyer either in the room.
All right.
We can also post the images on the Facebook.
We'll put that up later. All right.
Oh, we have abbreviations.
Oh, yeah, that's
Kind of
what
sorry.
I-
Yeah, that would make a lot of sense. Okay, one piece. That means it's a dress that's got sleeves. There are a lot of variations of this. You know, like long OPs, short OPs. But one piece basically means it is literally just one piece. You don't have to wear a blouse with it necessarily. Jumper skirt. The jumper skirt is going to be something that has almost like spaghetti straps.
Yeah.
You usually will wear like a blouse or a shawl or some kind of cardigan
Like
over
this
it.
over here.
That's a jumper skirt, as you can see. It does have the smaller straps.
So she is wearing a nice little loop sleeve blouse with it. Yay, Goodwill find. Oh yeah, that's good.
Yeah, we'll get to
We'll get
it
to
off
that.
camera because we're all about that.
Yes, we are cheap Lolitas.
Skirt. I think literally all of us today are wearing skirts.
Yeah.
A skirt is pretty much just what it sounds like. SK. You'll see it abbreviated as that a lot. Actually, I don't think I've ever seen it abbreviated as that. So just call it a skirt. That's practical.
It's a shopping thing.
Yeah. OTK. Over the knee. I don't think any of us are wearing over the knee socks, but it's literally exactly what it sounds like. It's going to be a sock.
There he is.
Oh, yeah.
You're just on top of it today. I love you.
Yeah, she's wearing everything we needed. Over the knee is just a sock that falls above the knee. You will find some socks that are varying lengths. Some of them will be a little bit shorter.
Yeah.
Usually with those, I'm going to wear a pair of tights with it, just because I don't want to show my
Or
hairy
the-
knees or anything.
Or those are really good for skirts or dresses that are a little bit longer hem. They work just fine. What is it? The leaf, Sacred Night.
Yeah, that was a
falls-
very long one.
That one falls pretty low. It's almost shin length. So you can wear a under the knee sock with that and it work just fine because no one's gonna see it.
Usually,
the brand
usually
is
Innocent
short.
World also has like longer versions of their dresses as well. So
That's actually a special term for they call that tea late.
Oh, that's right.
Thank
That's
you,
it.
classic Lolita.
classic.
Okay, over the top. Over the top is a thing. Basically, it means you're going to slap on as many coordinating accessories as possible. You're gonna see girls with big old wigs. They're gonna have like 45 different kind of clips in their hair. They're gonna have
all kinds,
all kinds of accessories, and they do still have to kind of match your outfit and the aesthetic you're going for. But pretty much just slap a bunch of accessories with it. Next, the styles.
Well, these are the main styles.
Yeah, we need a suite. Well, first of
We are
all, Gothic Lolita, since we're all Gothic.
I think we may be one of the only communities out there that is majority Gothic, because every other one we've seen
Except for
is-
France. France has a lot of Gothic.
That is true. Well, in the U.S., I would suppose. We are a majority Gothic Lolita community. We do have a few suites. We have our one today. Yay! Thank you. But classic today, she's a boy style, but this is our classic Lolita over here typically. Yeah, we'll have that up for the fashion show later, so you guys
This
can
is
see
our
it.
boy style right now.
So Gothic Lolita, it's pretty much exactly what it sounds like. It's going to be predominantly black, dark prints. Usually there's going to be maroons, navies maybe. It's a lot more subdued. It doesn't necessarily have to be the main color black. Like I'm not wearing majority black. I do have a lot of lavender and different color accents. And lavender isn't really a Gothic color, but it's really in how you coordinate that outfit. And the motifs, it's going to be goth stuff like crosses, coffins, bats, architecture, vampires,
Pumpkins.
spooky cute stuff, things like that. Moving on. And here's a lot of really awesome examples of Gothic.
Yes.
I want that cross dress. So
I know,
bad.
honey, it's okay.
Oh my gosh.
But yeah,
I
there you
don't think
go.
there's any other.
And we'll answer any questions about the sub-styles and styles in general after we get through the PowerPoint.
Yeah, we should have a Q&A at the end if we have time. So
Next.
I think we will.
Alright, sweet. As personified by Mary Beth from earlier.
Yeah, we're good.
Sweet Lolita is a style that emphasizes the cute and girlier aesthetic. It's a little more pinks, blues, lavenders, but usually more of the pastel kind. It's basically like a light, airy, cutesy, fluffy, think cotton candy. That's a good way to
There are
say
a
it.
lot of prints that are like, candy and toys and things like that.
Yeah, and it
So
deals with foods
those are
and
the
sweets
really
and
common motifs.
yes. And rabbits.
And cake, everybody loves cake.
oh yeah, cake apparently is like the big thing for sweet over the last couple of years, like cake and parfaits and berries. That's
And perfume.
yeah.
Anyway.
So there you go. Some
And the makeup
sweets.
is usually quite natural.
Yeah.
And those are the tea parties that she was talking about.
Oh yeah, these guys right here.
I mean,
They're nice flat shoes.
right, like the thing with wearing flat shoes is you just kind of want them to have a little something something going on because you don't want to have this crazy elaborate outfit and then you have like plain pink flats. It's just kind of weird. Now at like a con, it's entirely different. Like normally I'd be wearing heels, but like I'm wearing crazy shoes today. You want to be comfortable, obviously, if you're gonna have to be walking. You just want something, that's gonna look good with your outfit. Obviously, if you were wearing sweet, you wouldn't want to slap on some old dirty black flats because it would look silly and out of place. But it's
It's
kind
all
of
about
a
coordination.
Yeah, and it's kind of like fit your situation. Like, you don't want to be in a
assess it.
con walking
Assess it
around
hard.
in like platforms all day. Don't do it. It's terrible.
Even though we're all like,
Yeah, we say that.
Classic Lolita. This is basically a style that's it's a little bit more mature. Yeah, it's a little bit more adult, kind of, and it's things like a few years ago, like what was it, the early 2000s, the couch print.
Oh yeah,
was
yeah.
really
Basically,
big
if it looked
deal.
like your grandma's couch, it could count as a Lolita classic print.
Motifs are typically things like all over prints that are like flowers and really mostly flowers.
Yeah.
It's very subdued.
It's very
Flowers and
Victorian.
flowers.
Well,
Very
flowers,
Victorian.
brocade. There's a lot of brocade print for classic.
heraldic imagery, like
Oh yeah,
things like that.
and yeah, like paintings and things like that.
See some beautiful examples of that. And we also have the hilarious dress that for some reason has a donkey, a dog, a cat, and a chicken. That one, Lolita. That is Lolita.
It kind of makes
That's-
sense.
that's-
Like sometimes they do fairy tale prints, and it's based off of like the Musicians of Bremen, which is like an old
Yeah.
folk tale. So it's
And there's donkeys.
sort of.
I think they just tried to be dirty.
I think there's a dirty joke in there somewhere
Yeah,
that we have
there
to
is a
figure
dirty
it
joke,
out.
but we're not going to go
We're
there.
not allowed to tell you
In
what
any
you can
case.
imagine.
Moving on. Boy style.
We
We
have
got
those
a
over
cute,
here.
we got a cute boy style. Even though she's a foxy lady, she's still dressed kind of like a boy. It's gonna be some kind of form-fitting little breeches, like knickers. It's gonna be like, if you've seen anything like, what's it called? I can't remember, but like any kind of old school where you see little boys wearing like the tiny little knickers and little blouses that have all kinds of ruffles and little jackets that go with it. So that's going to be boy style. There are varying degrees of boy style. You can wear shorts. I've seen a lot of people wear short shorts. Usually there's going to be some kind of suspenders, little cute things like that.
And when we say
hats.
short, they're not that short.
Yeah, they're like
They're not booty shorts.
and they're usually kind of poofy. So.
Yeah. Bloopers. Next.
And here's some sexy men for you.
Like, hey guys.
Hotties. Hotties.
I hate to break it to you, but half of those are actually women.
Don't
Still
care.
hotties. Still hot.
They pull
Don't
up the
care.
nail thing very cool.
Yeah, I'd hate it.
In
It's
Japan,
a lot of fun to try if you are really into androgyny because you can play a lot with
yeah.
the ebb and flow of masculinity and femininity. So
Boy
it's
style is
fun.
very fun.
well, in Japan, it's like if it looks like a girl, it probably
It's a
isn't.
trap.
Or if it looks like a boy, it probably isn't.
That's true.
God bless you, J-Rock.
Aristocrat. Aristocrat is a fun one. As a gothic Lolita, a lot of times you're going to start evolving your style. It ends up becoming. Your style is going to end up becoming a little bit more mature.
Yeah.
Aristocrat is going to have long skirts. Usually it's going to be longer length.
This is basically like the traditional Victorian goth,
Yes.
for all intents and purposes, with
Yeah.
like a Japanese like spin to it.
So if any of you guys are worried about, how
Age.
to age into, or that you'll age out of Lolita, that's not necessarily the case. She's not present right now, but we have someone who's kind of an honorary member of our group. Older woman, she does aristocrat to the T. She's perfect. And it's a great example of showing how if you are interested, how you can continue to evolve and your style, you don't have to give it up. You just have to refine it.
And even then, I mean, I'll still be in Gothic Lolita when I'm 30 if I can fit it.
I'll
Me
be
too.
rolling around in print until the day I die.
It's not
I
a
don't care.
requirement, but some people feel more comfortable in it. And sometimes, like, I know myself, I switch back and forth from goth to aristocrat because sometimes it's like, aristocrat's
kind of
awesome
get
in
into
winter
both of them.
because
They're
it's
very
so
closely
warm.
related. Yeah.
They're sisters.
Yes.
All right, next. And here's some really nice examples.
Men also pull off aristocrat very well.
Yes.
And you will see that at the fashion show too.
Which is like the more adult version of like Oji or Corona, which is like
The boy style.
Yes.
Okay, those are the credits for the pictures. Okay, let's go ahead and go into the Lolita fashion do's and don'ts. And this is not us trying to be mean. This is us trying to be constructive. I know some people are like, oh, do's and don'ts. Y'all are snarky. We're really not.
We love you all. We just want to make sure that you don't regret something later.
we all have to start somewhere.
Yeah.
But
I wish we had.
oh God.
Oh, if we had pictures of all of our very
We
first
literally
outfits, y'all would
discussed-
sob.
Mine
We
is a
discussed
dead
doing
bad
this to
one.
prove to you guys that we did not always like roll out looking like this because our first.
It was
My first
bad.
outfit was atrocious.
Mine was too. I'm glad I
We all
lost
have
that
to start
picture.
somewhere.
We're not brave, but I can assure you there was a lot of
It was
ratchet
bad.
going on in the early
Plenty
days.
of ratchet.
We're only 20 minutes in. We're doing good.
Okay. This is so important. So important.
Whoa.
Don't
This has-
forget your petticoat.
This
Read
has
it
to
together. I mean, I understand if you don't have one. Petticoats are unfortunately expensive,
You can
especially good ones.
improvise. I had to improvise for a while. I had to just layer my skirt so I
Yeah.
can get a little bit more poof going on. And you don't have to have just embarrassing amount of poof where you can't get through a door. But, especially if you're wearing a print, you need a little bit of something to give that skirt a little bit extra.
And this really has mostly to do with the silhouette, basically the basic shape of the Lolita. So like the petticoat is really important to the shape. So, and that makes it more Lolita.
That makes the
Because if you have an entire coordinate from a brand new spanking coordinate from Angelic Pretty and you don't have a petticoat, I don't care. You're gonna look like a fool. Because those little cakes are gonna look like cupcakes.
They're actually going to look like turds.
You can actually make your own. They're the easiest thing in the world. There's like tutorials all over the place now.
Oh, we sound smart. I'm sorry.
Tutorials.
Tutorials. She's from Jackson, Tennessee.
Bless her heart,
Like
guys.
it's so far away.
It's far enough.
Don't wear ill-fitted clothing.
If
This
it
is
doesn't fit,
really
it doesn't
important.
fit.
If it doesn't fit, you must quit. There are ways to, you can modify the crap out of your outfits. Like, I've had dresses that I bought that I just straight up bust the zipper out of. It happens. You know, you're gonna get an item and you're gonna love it and you're gonna realize it really just doesn't fit. Do not be afraid to alter it to fit you. There are people on the internet that are going to be like, don't alter your brand dresses, it's going to decrease the value. It's like, I don't have a plan on selling it.
If you don't intend on selling your dresses, then it's not a big deal to alter.
If you spend that much money on an item
You can do
and
whatever
you
you
are
want.
in love with it and it does not fit you, do what is necessary to make it comfortable for you to wear.
Exactly.
Plain and simple. We have a lot of people in Memphis that are good. They're good alteration specialists. There are a lot of people in this city that can do it for you, do it professionally, and charge a good price. So don't be afraid to alter it. It's supposed to make you happy. You're supposed to wear it and wear it with pride. You don't want to wear it and feel uncomfortable because it doesn't fit, it pinches, it does something.
Yeah.
You don't want to feel embarrassed wearing your dream dress. So move what everyone else says. If you're buying it for investment purposes, you don't need to be wearing it anyway.
And invest in some Spanx. That's what I do. Like, it sounds ratchet, but if you have a little bit of a muffin top like I do, Spanx will make that dress fit.
Or if you're like me, I've been known, if I like a print a lot, I will, if it doesn't fit, I'll trade it for like the JSK or the OP version. Like I had one OP that didn't fit, so I traded for the JSK and it fit perfectly because I had shearing.
And you will find a lot of dresses will have stretchy fabric on the back.
Yes.
Angelic Pretty is a sweet brand. A lot of those dresses are going to cater to bigger bust and waist sizes because they have a lot of, I do have shearing, but it's stretched to the max. Don't judge me. It's this stretchy material in the back. It basically means if you're a smaller size, you can fit it, or if you're a little bit bigger, you can fit it too, because it is going to stretch out.
It has breathing room.
Yeah, wiggle room.
Well, you know, most of these dresses are made in Japan, so I mean, like
For infant size.
the sizing is really like kind of narrow. So, and you know, we come in all shapes and sizes, whereas most Japanese people are roughly the same size. So don't feel bad if you don't fit into their stuff.
Right.
Okay.
And there are alternatives. You know,
Yeah.
you can get something custom made. There are a lot of shops that we'll talk a little bit more about later that do custom sizing. So don't be afraid to get into Lolita just because you think, oh, it's not going to fit my bust or my waist, or I've got big shoulders like me, or whatever. Next.
Or there are some brands actually that are getting bigger babies and putting out large blouses. And Meta makes dresses that I can't even.
Yeah, we'll talk a little bit more about actual brands a little bit later.
We should have time to Q&A. I don't know
Don't
why
leave your hair unstyled. This is a big one. If you have a beautiful outfit put together and there's nothing done with your hair, it's gonna kind of throw the whole look off. You know, people are gonna be like, oh man, she looks really good. They're gonna do like the full like body scan and then see your hair and be like, oh, well, it looked like she rolled out of bed, but he rolled out of bed. Basically, I wear a wig all the time because I have really terrible hair. Wigs are a really great alternative for if you don't have time to get up in the morning and, you know, put rollers in your hair. Wigs make it work.
But you still have to style it to a degree. I mean, like to cut, like to make sure it fits your face and things like that. Don't be afraid to cut a wig.
We have a great wig shop in Memphis. Has anybody ever been to Central Wigs on Madison Avenue? That place is money in the bank. Y'all should all go there. It's amazing.
They're very inexpensive. They have really good high quality wigs. They actually have a lot of wigs that you can heat style now.
And really
which
great
is nice.
service.
Yes. The
The
lady there
service
is so
is-
cute.
They're great there. So, you know, if you're gonna wear your natural hair, which I understand it is hot, wigs are hot, you know, just style it. Be sure to run a brush through it.
Yeah.
Just either straighten it out, put a little wave in it, or something.
Even
or
if-
just wear a wig.
Yeah. Even if you just like wash and blow dry it and brush it out, even if it's just plain looking, like plain straight hair, if it has a nice sheen and you have a nice clip or bow in there, that still works just fine. Just make sure that it doesn't look unkempt. That's the primary thing. Like you don't want to look like you just rolled out of bed, took your bun out, and shook it down and walked out the door.
Hey, that makes pretty waves sometimes.
All right. Don't get discouraged. I know we're throwing a lot of information at you right now, but don't let that scare you away from the fashion. Like, there's no reason to be afraid of it. It's just clothes. Literally, we are wearing clothes like every other person. We all started out really bad, like we said earlier. I really do wish we could show you the pictures because
Maybe next year we could get
next year we're going to show you humiliating pictures and you'll love it.
Just remember we're all in the same pot. We're all in the same.
Yes.
boat on that
And we're here to
one.
help too. It's like, we're not gonna let you go out looking foolish. But that brings us to the point, be prepared to handle any kind of constructive criticism.
Yeah, it's really
Because I know
helpful
these
for-
ladies are my friends outside of the fashion. You know, I have a lot of respect for them, and I respect their opinions. So I can go to any one of them and be like, hey, what do you think of this outfit? And they're gonna be like, that was stupid. And I'll be like, oh, thanks. They're gonna be like, you look dumb.
But that's inside of our circle. But the biggest thing is that it's constructive criticism. Emphasis
Yeah.
on the constructive.
Give them a positive, then a negative. Be like, maybe this looks really good, but if you change this aspect,
Yeah.
You know, people will say things like that. If you go on the internet, people are pretty mean. So
Yeah.
if you want any kind of advice about Lolita or anything, come to us. You know,
Please
we're gonna
avoid the
we're gonna
internet. Please don't.
Yeah, don't get on internet sites.
Please
'cause
don't
people
go
are-
on the internet because they are just mean, trolling people, and it's not worth it. They will take it to critical criticism where they are just insulting the fact that you were even born.
It's like you have weird legs, or just something stupid that isn't even relevant to the outfit itself.
Yeah.
It's like you'll find people like that all over the internet. They just feel bad about themselves and they're gonna try to make you feel bad.
Yeah.
So don't ever feel bad about yourself. You're all beautiful. Oh, this is a toughie, especially since we're at a convention where there's a lot of people cosplaying. Just for the record, most of us cosplay in addition to wearing Lolita.
Yes.
There is not some taboo that says, oh, if you're a Lolita, you can't wear cosplay.
Oh, no,
it's like
we
we
love
all
cosplay.
have fandoms, we're all nerds. Basically, the only thing is you shouldn't try to really combine the two. If you start wearing cat ears or giant fairy wings, you're gonna start making that outfit look more like a costume. And it's really hard. I mean, I know all of y'all understand, it's hard for people to take you seriously when you're wearing a costume or something that's kind of out of the norm. So if you're wearing Lolita, just wear Lolita. You know, do one or the other.
There is a small exception to this because during Halloween, say like Alice in Pirates or Angelic Pretty, they will release special prints that come with certain accessories that sometimes have like little cat ears or things like that that are to be worn with that coordinate only.
Like I have a headdress, I don't know if any of y'all saw me yesterday, but I was wearing one that looked like bat wings on my head.
Yeah.
But it went with the outfit. You have to judge each coordinate and the accessories on what's appropriate with it.
It's
You
just
know?
gonna have a theme basically. For
Yeah.
this. Not a
That's
future.
good. Yes,
You don't
that's
want
a
to get
good
too
one.
crazy with it. Essentially,
Yeah.
is what they're saying.
Themes are good.
It helps to coordinate.
Okay, don't purchase from Milano
Please
or
do
any
not
of its
do
various
this.
sizes. I don't know if any of y'all have gotten on the internet and you're looking at like cosplays or Lolita and you find like really nice looking dresses for really cheap.
We are going to set this roll in stone because there have been so
Yeah.
many regrettable purchases from Milano. Just don't deal with them.
Yeah, we
You
will
take
help
your
you
money.
find another alternative.
Don't
Yeah.
be tricked by the price.
Yeah, because the price is going to reflect what you get. I think we've all probably made mistakes of ordering something from a questionable website. You're going to get a product that is probably terrible material, ill-fitting, and just
Will fall
isn't-
apart
it
in a
isn't-
very
it isn't
short
even
amount
what
of
you
time.
ordered to begin with. You're going to get something really weird.
Yeah.
So just avoid ordering from sites like that. There are a lot of alternatives, which we will talk about.
And
be
there are a
diligent
lot
about
of
reading the-
research places that you can use, like
Use the
online
Google,
research.
the almighty Google.
Read your reviews. Just read your reviews. People are usually pretty honest about stuff like that. So if you're curious about a website that looks a little on the fence, Google the reviews for that website. Go ahead and read like 5 pages worth to sort of get a good gauge of what they do and do not do as far as customer service and quality before you proceed with anything.
This is like one of the only places where like internet communities are really helpful.
Yes.
Yeah.
Milano, whatever, is also, it's using another front right now that's like mylolitadress.com. So it's
Yeah.
known to have like sock puppet accounts set up where it will basically try and sell under a different name. But the rule of thumb is generally if it seems too good to be true,
It is.
probably is.
Milano is just like, oh, I'm gonna order like this Sephiroth cosplay, and they send you a pair of socks. I've
They charge you
I've heard
$200
some
for it.
stories.
Or something.
Like, oh yeah, I'm gonna rock this now.
Okay, Lolita on a budget. This is a big one because we all broke.
All of us at Thrift Lolitas, every last one of us up here are either wearing like off-brand brand that we put together and made work, or we found this on a secondhand site and paid like pennies on the dollar for it.
I have purchased one dress from like the retailer itself I have never paid full price for anything that I own because I'm just not about that life. There are so many alternatives. Don't think you can't get into Lolita just because you don't have a ton of money. You know, you can always do Lolita on a budget. This blouse that I got, it was $2 on eBay.
Yeah.
And you can find all kinds of really nice vintage blouses that have the kind of aesthetic you're looking for.
We have great thrift
skirts-
stores around the city for
yeah.
vintage blouses. We
Yeah.
are very lucky in that regard.
Yeah, gosh. Sorry, y'all.
You're trying. It's okay.
It just refuses to stay
Because
on.
my wig is fat. A couple of examples of places where you can get reasonably priced stuff, but brand new if you're a little iffy about purchasing from somebody secondhand. Bodyline. There are a lot of people that say Bodyline is evil. It is not. Bodyline
This is Bodyline.
awesome. If you are just starting out or you need a particular blouse or something and you don't have a lot of money, most things you can get on that website are going to be less than $50 usually.
Yeah.
The only
And
caveat to that is that like some of the stuff is not as good as others. You really should like
Product reviews.
ask about things
Yeah.
before you purchase something on there because some of it is kind of, and some of it's really great.
But they've gotten a lot better about trying to be consistent, which is great because you still can get a really nice coordinate for under $100 off Bodyline. And I mean, she looks adorable. The shoes are Bodyline too. Actually the
Yeah,
Bodyline
they're
shoes have gotten really nice, so and they're really inexpensive. I would recommend like getting Bodyline shoes before brand shoes, just because like especially if you're
shoes
stuck. And they're
Yeah,
usually
they're
really
really
narrow.
tiny.
They're usually very, very narrow, which isn't comfortable to walk around in. You can do a photo shoot if you're seated, but you do not want to stand in those things for longer than 20 minutes. They hurt.
And Fan Plus Friend is another one where you can get some reasonably priced stuff, but that's the kind of website where they sell a lot of cosplay stuff and actual Lolita stuff as well. You have to be really careful because sometimes the quality is not so great. So again, just like with Bodyline, look at product reviews and make sure you're getting exactly what you paid for.
The great thing about Fan Plus Friend is that they also usually make a lot of their stuff to measure. So if you give them your measurements, they'll actually make it so that so that way it will fit you.
You have to be careful though because you have to be really careful. I think someone told me you have to give it a few inches, give or take.
Yeah, because they will.
Sometimes it's very weird. There's reviews about it too, though. If you're looking at a specific dress, I think they're also like numbered, so you can look at kind of like Bodyline is, so you can specifically look at that.
But I mean, it's a good rule of thumb anyway. If you're having anything custom made, to give it about an inch or two wiggle room, just because
Right.
You get bloated if you're like me.
Because you want to have room for your blouse, your bra, and for like us, our tradition is to go eat Mexican food.
We love Mexican food here.
I don't know
Yes,
why.
it's true, actually.
Every time we have a meet, I don't
Let's
quite
go get
understand.
margaritas.
We go get the fishbowl margaritas
Food
and
waste.
vaginas, and we just sit there and like I need to go and unzip myself very.
That's why I
delicately.
changed into yoga pants before we got to eat. No shame in your game. Taobao. Taobao is another really awesome place to order from if you know how to do it. You do have to use a middleman basically to acquire stuff from Taobao. You're basically. I'm the one that knows how to do it.
I don't care both them.
Yeah, I didn't know you were. Okay, so if you join our community and decide you want to get into Lolita, we can help you order from any of these websites as well. Taobao especially because it's really weird and wonky. Secondhand.
It's all Chinese, so if you don't know Chinese, it's really hard to know.
But there are middlemen
Yes.
that do. They'll I can't ever say his name. And Cutie Land does a bunch. She gets in like certain brands, but like the bigger name Lolita brands. But.
Groupons.
Now let's talk about secondhand because secondhand is the best thing that ever happened to Lolita. There are people that will buy a dress and they'll decide almost immediately after
they
just
don't
trying it
want
on that they don't want it. And because of that, they have to sell it on a secondhand site like the EGL community sales or Facebook sales in English. Lolita sales in English. You can get stuff for so inexpensive on there. You say there's a dress that's like $400. If it's been bought and tried on by somebody, usually they're going to knock off a little bit. And if you order something from overseas, shipping is ridiculous. So buying secondhand is a lot better alternative for most people because you can get the prints you want for less expensive and you don't have to pay crazy amounts of shipping. And that's a big deal.
The only caveat to that is that if it's a really sought after print, usually in America,
Price will be jacked up.
They will
So
have
do
it
your
anyway.
research. If there's a particular dress or item you want, research what it's been going for. Sometimes if you're working with a really cool person, they'll let you talk down the price a little bit.
And
you
don't
can
be afraid to
haggle.
haggle. Yeah, do
Yeah,
not
no
be afraid to
shame.
haggle. If you can always ask if there's something that they're willing to trade for that you have.
yeah,
And just work with. I mean, they're humans. They're people, and you can work with them if you're reasonable.
But the really big thing about using these sites, you have to make sure you're dealing with an actual human being. Some of these sites get people called scammers. They're going to be people that seem to have a legitimate spiel. Usually you have to have some kind of feedback to make a sale. Feedback is where you've sold items before, or you have an eBay account that's got feedback that proves that you're a real person that actually sends your items out. If you don't check for this, there will be people that will scam you. You will pay for an item, and you will never receive that item. And you will have to go through a PayPal claim, which if you use PayPal, you'll know it can be a pain to deal with. Basically, you just really have to, do your research on the people. Make sure, check the lists. There are lists all over the internet of people that have been banned from certain communities because of these reasons.
Don't be afraid to talk to the admins of those Facebook pages. They will
Most
tell
of
you.
them are really nice.
Yeah, or if you're fearful that you may be dealing with somebody who is a scammer, talk to that person, go ahead and make it known that you think that you may be getting gypped on an item, and that way you at least have a paper trail to work with them inside the community and outside.
I know Facebook and LiveJournal, you have to have feedback to buy or sell. You have to.
Yeah.
Well, you have to have a feedback page.
Right.
You make a page, and if you don't have feedback, you can find a lot of really awesome people that are going to give you the benefit of the doubt. Like the first item that I ever bought that was like a brand expensive thing, the girl let me actually do it on a payment plan. So I paid like 3 or 4 weeks, a certain amount of money every single week, and I didn't have a lick of feedback. But she gave me the benefit of the doubt, and that was actually the way that I got my first feedback.
And I did mine through buying small stuff like socks and accessories. Because, they're a good way to decide, hey, do I even, want to go through with this without, dropping money on a dress if you're not ready.
And in my personal opinion, I really don't think that you should send money through PayPal as a gift.
Don't
Never
do it
send
because
it.
you
Yeah.
lose your protection as
Yeah.
a buyer when you do that.
Yeah.
Always do
You
good.
can't claim it and get it back if they scam you if you do that.
For most companies, they're going to invoice you anyway, so you don't have to worry about it. Oh, and the bottom part, be sure to check the tags. Most sellers will list the tag, like they'll take a picture of it so you can prove that it's the real thing because, I know that you can actually buy the replica fabric now, and some people will make it, and, if they don't show you the tag, you might be paying like the brand price for a replica that you can get. Well, give me a microphone.
Yeah. I was like, you're sitting on the ground. There's people in the back of the room.
I'm sorry. Like I was saying, I've seen this happen before. I don't know if I got to think about replicas or not. Replicas are cool. We don't care as long as it fits
A
you.
replica is a dress that it was really rare, sought after, and then
Right.
different companies will produce them. They look the same, but they're not technically the brand. They're replicas of that item.
They have changed like maybe something on the name or the pattern that's very subtle, the lace, something like that. So it's not a 100% copy. It's like 85 or 95%, accurate to the actual piece.
There's a
But
lot of
it's-
controversy on the subject. So
We
We
remain
don't care.
neutral.
we remain neutral.
We don't care.
We don't care.
We understand that A, stuff is expensive, and B, humans come in different shapes and sizes.
Just
and
make
not
sure
all
it
of us can
fits
fit
you.
in.
Oh my gosh, make sure it fits you. You don't want, even if you want the newest AP print and if you order it and it touches your feet, it's going to be silly. I don't know. My thing was I'm saying that you can get replicas brand new for pretty cheap. And so you want to always make sure that you're buying either replica or brand because I've seen people try to pass off the replica as the real thing and charge like the brand price when you could get it brand new for, a fraction of that. It's just silly to buy secondhand, something that you could get brand new for the same price. So you just want to be aware of where your dress is coming from. Okay, that's it.
Is that everything?
And remember that Lolita is a fashion with a look based on following a certain set of guidelines. Just do your research. We gave you this nice picture that kind of has an aesthetic. In this community in particular, we break a lot of rules. We pretty much do what we want because it feels good. It feels good to be bad. But really, we do break a lot of the rules. But we stick with a certain part of it, like the petticoats and things like that.
We literally are just holding on to the bare bones basics, but we've also had years of practice. We've had years of trial and error of messing up, of, you know, getting put up on the internet, some of us, by rude individuals, but whatever, we're not going to talk about that. So it came with its own cost, but because we have gone out and we've sought more information, we've experimented, had trial and error, we're able to feel comfortable doing things more out of the box, experimenting with Theme Lolita, which, you know, it can be a lot of fun, and just exploring our own styles and trying to incorporate our own personal styles into a Lolita aesthetic.
Yeah. And don't ever be afraid to ask questions of more experienced Lolitas.
Because again, we all started somewhere.
Yeah, we all started somewhere, but we're all more than willing to help steer you in the right direction. We're not going to be mean about it. You know, if you want help, you know, there's always help for those who ask for it. I was going to make a Harry Potter quote, but then I messed it up. Yeah,
That was depressing.
Another thing that you can do is also like make your own clothes if you really want to.
If you're that kind of
like
crafty,
to
do
sew,
it.
If you're already into
I commend you for
cosplay,
it.
making dresses is really not that much of a like step in that direct. Is not much of a change in any case, other than like all the accessories which come with cosplay, which is difficult. So.
And there are great communities online for people who want to learn how to sew.
Microphone.
Sorry. There are great communities online for people who want to learn how to sew like Lolita types of clothing. And also the Gothic and Lolita Bible was really famous for, it would release like paper
Patterns.
Yeah, the patterns for you to just like draft and blah, 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 if you just wanted to do that in your own time. And they would do that with every issue. So if you can find one out there, like Gothic and Lolita Bible is still releasing. Oh, sorry.
You were mad.
Okay.
We're
But,
not good at public speaking.
if you can
I am a tour guide.
Anyway,
If you can find Gothic and Lolita Bibles that still have their patterns in them, get on that. You know, you can still find them on like eBay and on secondhand sites and that kind of thing sometimes.
Fun fact, they actually have them mostly scanned now, and you can print them out.
all right.
And
so
translate it.
I think we should do questions.
Wait,
Yeah. Well, we do want to invite you, even if you don't necessarily want to wear Lolita, if you're interested in learning more, feel free to join our community. You know,
Yeah,
come to
please.
meetups, come hang out with us, come get margaritas at a Mexican restaurant.
Like,
if you're
assuming you're
up.
underage, we are a
Yeah.
community of friends first and Lolita second. That's our basically like our unofficial motto.
Yeah.
We are friends, and that's what makes us, in my opinion, a good community. And we are more than
We always
welcome
want more
to-
friends.
Yes,
We
I
like
mean, if you
friends.
have questions, it's fine. We can all go out, have a drink. You don't have to get dressed up if you want to. By
Yeah, I
all
wear
means, go
yoga
right ahead.
pants most of the time. Really.
and if you're
underage, you can still hang out with us and not drink alcohol.
Just come
Everybody
over,
come.
hang out with us, ask questions, pick our brains. You know, just whatever. We're an open book. We're an open book. Just talk to us.
If you're not
Please.
sure about it, you can always just show up, regular clothes, just be prepared
Oh,
to
yeah.
be stared at with us. You don't have to be, you don't have to have your entire first chord when you come hang out with us. You know,
Yeah,
you can
don't
come
be afraid to
A lot of
questions.
people don't. They'll just come hang out because they
Yeah.
want to see what we're about.
Right.
But
That's
also,
not
the link for our Facebook page should be on the flyers we passed around.
And I don't think we had enough. I'm sorry, everybody.
Yeah, I know. I
may be able to do combat and get one.
But I do have the name of the group, and find us on Facebook. I was going to write it with silver
It
merchant,
should be.
but I didn't.
Well, anyway, yeah, the name of our Facebook group is on the flyer, so you can search us, find us, join. We do have it set up where we have to approve you, but I'm going to remember all your beautiful faces, and I will approve all of you that decide you want to join.
Yes. And I don't think we had enough flyers to go around. I'm so sorry.
Oh, sorry, guys. We weren't expecting this many people, so
Yeah,
thank
we
you.
were. Yes, thank you all for coming.
Oh, no, we're not done yet.
I know, I'm
Do y'all
just
have
saying.
any questions?
Why am I still here?
Yes. Questions. Yes?
I'm sorry, I didn't print out enough. I didn't know that there was going
We
to
didn't know there were going to be
this
so many.
If you want the information that's on the flyer, then you can just come up to us and ask.
Look at all these people coming together.
Oh my God.
This is beautiful, you guys.
Okay, we really want you in our community.
Yeah, we
You guys are
love
awesome.
Yeah. You over here?
Could you tell the name of the Facebook group?
Oh yeah, it's the Mid-South Lolita.
I need to
community.
No, it's Mid-South Lolita
Meetup. Since I named it, I should have remembered.
It's okay. Close enough. All right.
It's
Anyone
the
else have
Mid-South
questions?
Lolita Meetup. Sorry.
Ask us anything, even if it's something stupid.
I don't care.
Like if you want to know like what our favorite animal is.
Yes. Kitties.
Yes.
Yeah, sure. No, absolutely. Like, if you guys want to dress up tomorrow, because we'll be obviously doing the fashion show.
I won't be here.
Today's the fashion show.
Oh, good lord, I'm sorry. Like I said, like a coffee.
Today is the fashion show, and it's like at 1, right?
1:30.
It's at 1:30.
And you're gonna get to
Please come.
you're gonna get to see more of our bodies. You're gonna get to see a lot more people that are in our community that didn't necessarily want to stand up here and talk at you. You'll get to see a lot more sub-styles represented. Because we didn't talk a lot about sub-styles because of time.
Yeah.
But you're gonna get to see a lot of really cool stuff. Everybody in our community, they've got some really beautiful outfits. Come drool over them and touch their dresses and stuff. I'll let you touch my dress. I don't care.
If you guys want to ask about sub-styles too, that's cool. We have,
Yes.
10 minutes.
Cool.
So there's Lolita fashion. Is there a lifestyle associated with it?
Absolutely.
There are some girls who do live lifestyle Lolita.
There are
Yes,
some
and
people
they're all
who live
very
that
wealthy.
way. But-
Yes.
There are some people who live that way, but I mean, really, you need a lot of money to do that, and not all of us are as endowed with that. So,
But
however, otherwise, you actually can do it to a degree without so much money. It's just like you have to fill your closet with things that you can wear every single day, as well as
people decorate their bedrooms in
Yeah.
a way that fits
Drinking
kind of the
tea
aesthetic,
and-
lots of pink and.
it doesn't necessarily have to be about like buying things too. If you just want to pick up a hobby that makes you feel more like a Lolita, you can do like embroidery, you can like read a classic novel, you can like get
Pastry
some
cooking.
tea cook. Yeah, exactly. There are all kinds of like little ways to multiply.
Oh,
your
totally.
life.
Okay, well, you had your hand first, and then I'll get to you.
Oh, that's great! I would love to dress you. Y'all should all come to my house and I'll dress you.
I have actually done this before for a friend of mine. They really wanted to get into Lolita, and so I actually like took them to my house and put clothing on them. So I have done that, but not on stage.
Oh, and by the way, I like your candy, and the only reason I know that is because of her. I didn't know candy was a thing.
Sweet
Oh,
candy.
she's over here. She's got the goods.
Candy
All right, unrelated. Let's keep asking
In
questions.
any case.
They already traded.
Thank you.
Wearing cheap water.
It's one of those sub-style things where a lot of times it's really hard to see it done right, but I personally, I really love it because I actually great. It's okay.
If you do it well, do the hell
If
out
you
of
do
it.
it well, then that's what's important.
Yeah.
See, a lot of people can't really pull it off very well because they have like cheap material. And
Yeah,
things
it
like
looks
that.
very costumey.
It's really
and-
difficult to pull off correctly. So I think that if it looks good, then it looks good.
Explore it.
You know?
Explore anything that you're interested in.
Yeah, one of the big things that I've seen in regards to those two is that a lot of people will get those really terrible Leg Avenue kimonos and things and try to dress it up to that aesthetic, and it's like, no, please don't do that. Please, I'm begging you, God, no. You have to start with good examples of what the style looks like first and foremost, and remember that it's channeling a traditional aesthetic, and so actually study where it's sourced from, and then start to build from there. I would give that as a piece of advice.
I would also like to recommend, if you're interested in trying those types of sub-styles, Metamorphose is famous for releasing some kimono print fabric GSKs that were, really tastefully done. And if you're worried about looking too costumey, then look up examples of how other Lolitas have styled those kinds of pieces and what they've done, and sort of take it into consideration.
The biggest issue with sub-styles, one of the biggest issues with sub-styles is that you really want to know Lolita before you start veering off into other directions. So you really want to be comfortable with like, your own coordinates with like basic Lolita before you start going into extra stuff like, like all of the sub-styles, because there are a lot.
Because Rose is wearing Aero Lolita, which has been a huge new contingency within Lolita in general.
I feel more punk.
Well,
I know, but it feels punk to me.
no, but
Okay, she's doing a couple of different stuff. She's doing a couple. We'll just say that.
yeah. Well, she's doing bondage Aero Lolita, and I'm doing metal Lolita, but I forgot my Jack Daniels bottle with tea in it, so
Leather jackets.
it was hot as balls. Okay. Sorry. Okay, I did not want to perspire.
right before the panel.
I wanted to be up here and be elegant. I did not want to have the glow going. I wanted to be up here and be dainty and elegant, so thank you.
Okay.
I didn't try to be elegant because I'm not gonna be fake with y'all. This is it.
We are not holier than thou. We really aren't. We are totally approachable. You can hang out with us. We're cool. You're cool. Hang out with us.
We're cool here. We're cool here.
We're not cool, don't lie to them.
Does anybody have any other questions? Yes, please. I mean, ask us like random stuff. We have time to kill.
I'll tell you about my fandoms.
The Lolita land.
This was just a little off the wall. You said ask random questions.
Please.
I'm not super well versed in anime. Can you recommend, are there any shows where characters dress Lolita that could be recommended?
There are a lot, actually. Really, I don't know if I can really recommend any per se, other than maybe like things like the classics like Chobits.
Chobits is kind of bordering.
Yeah, it's bordering on, but the thing is most anime, it's cosplay. So it really wouldn't be considered
Kind of
real
draw that
Lolita.
line.
Yeah.
There is one. I think it's called Sister Princess. Somebody can correct me if I'm wrong.
Yeah, Sister Princess. I think actually they actually wore some baby dresses. It's a really cute, like spoofy anime and manga. It's really adorable. There's a list of them actually somewhere if you Google search them. I just can't think off the top of my head because I'm still asleep, but I know that one does.
But yeah, most animes, that's really like the rarity, to be honest. Like most animes, it's just like Lolita-esque style that's like really pretty and like princessy and things like that. But it's if you dress that if you are dressing up like that character is cosplay.
Right.
So,
Well, I was asking.
There are certain, I'm sorry to interrupt. There are certain animes that brands have done collaborations with. For
Like
example,
Black
that's
Mr.
true.
World right now has Rosen Maiden items on their
Yes,
site.
yes,
that
there are
really
so
beautifully
many
done.
collabs.
There's also Lolita and Windrum had an outfit that was based off of one of the main characters' standard outfit that they released items for. They were pretty much exact replicas of what she wears in the anime.
So these are gray areas.
And
Yeah, just look
makes
up
sense.
Lolita anime collaborations.
I feel like I have to put this one out here because I love it so much. You guys, there is a Nightmare Before Christmas collaboration and it's fabulous.
With who?
Meta. Really? It's beautiful, you guys. It's pinstripe, black and white, and I've been looking for it for 100 years.
That sounds amazing.
It's a real thing, you guys. It's so cute. It looks like a little Jack Skellington dress. It's precious. And there's actually a Hello Kitty dress too, everybody, and I want it
so
too.
you can find things. It's
Yeah.
gray area.
Yes.
Big gray area.
I mean, you could even design it after those collabs and it would still be cute.
All right, we have 5 minutes. Let's do the speed
Anybody?
round.
All right, questions? Hand, maybe. In back.
Cutie Pie Lolita right in the back.
Yeah.
of course.
Yes. She's so cute. I saw you come in and I didn't want to make you feel weird. But you're so cute.
Yes.
Yes.
We need some sugar in the middle of all this.
Get that sugar. Bring the sugar up here.
Yes.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Sorry, I figured I'd take a minute.
That's okay.
My lovely, ugly wig.
I think I blinked. I'm sorry. I did.
All
Photoshop.
right.
You
Anybody
can
have any
Photoshop
other
my eyes
questions?
open.
Questions? Anybody else?
Yes.
Yeah, come hug all of us.
Yes.
What?
No, only one per panel. Yes, you can. Yes, I'm just messing with you. I'm not being serious.
If anybody else wants hugs or snuggles,
that?
we'll do all that for you.
Or I'm just gonna start talking and making everybody feel weird. I will do it. I will do it.
She'll do it.
Let me do it. I want to talk to people.
It's even better.
Oh, cute.
So, okay, these would be the tennis shoes for Lolita. I'm just gonna put that out.
If you were gonna wear some sweet Lolita, I would hit those.
Like, yeah.
I would.
Or no, like the silent moon print in silver with those.
Does anybody have any other questions before we run out of time?
Anybody?
Speak now or forever hold your peace.
I'll sit and talk about Doctor Who for 5 minutes. Don't mess with me. I'll do it. I'll do it. I will.
Anybody like supernatural here?
Just
More
We know she
supernatural
does.
people.
She has an awesome purse.
yeah, I think.
Does anybody want to know anything about like Lolita in Japan? because that's like the thing that
The
I
room
know
goes
about.
silent.
Clearly not.
They have like a designated day, like Sunday. Like,
Yes.
I used
Yes.
to like, I tried to, I like Lolita, I just have a different time.
Whoever's walking down the aisle, I don't know your name, but your dress is cute.
But
You're cute.
You're
You're cute.
The magazine that they had the magazine.
Yeah, it's you. You're precious. I love your dress. It matches your eyes.
Well, I mean, there's 2 international days per year. One in the summer, in the early summer, and one in the winter time.
When was the International
So that
Lolita
way we
Day
can do
was
summer
a couple
tours.
weeks ago.
Yeah, we can do summer tours and also winter tours, so that way, we have an excuse to just all get dressed up together.
Yes.
And they do it all over the world. They do it in Japan, they do it here too.
Yes.
And I've seen pictures from like pretty much almost every country with a bunch of Lolitas. It's amazing. It's really cool.
Yes.
It's high time.
Any speed questions?
What's with the antlers?
But
Oh, the antlers? That's
it's
like
like-
a weird
oh, no.
aesthetic that's popped up lately.
I'm guilty of that one. I'm totally guilty of that one. I don't care. I love it.
Yeah, I kind of like it too.
I was channeling my internal Artemis.
It's very weird to me because only male deers have antlers.
Yeah.
I don't care.
That just
Deer is
shows that we're
delicious.
men. Big, strong, manly men.
I'm Southern. I don't care. Deer's delicious. Oh my God! Is that Abraham Lincoln in the hallway? Holy crap!
You mean Abraham Lincoln?
Abraham Lincoln. See, this is what happens when you don't ask questions.
I think I said some classy ladies, I promise.
We got like two seconds.
Anybody else? Because we have like 2 minutes to kill. We should do like 2 minutes of dancing.
My favorite color is purple. I like kitties.
I cats too.
also purple.
My favorite color is green, and I like the X.
I can twerk right now. Oh God. Okay, everybody, we are done.
Thank you.